I'm here with Chef Rick Gresh of David Burke's Prime House in the James Hotel, who will be showing us a modern twist on a classic Polish dish, Steak Tartare or Steak Tartare. Welcome, Chef Gresh. Thank you for joining us. Please tell me a little bit about your restaurant.
Well, thanks for having me. We're located right downtown on Ontario and Rush Street. We just got voted #1 steakhouse in Chicago by Chicago Magazine.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And you know, we specialize in dry aging meat anywhere from 28 days all the way up to 75 days.
So what are we going to start with today? We're
going to start with making basically a little slaw.
Okay.
And it's going to start with some celery root. So a lot of people, we've already peeled this down. A lot of people think that this is the bottom part of what celery is in the ground.
Like the root of it.
The root of it. Mm-hmm. It's actually not. It's a whole separate plant that they grow just for this. But it tastes like it should be that part of celery, right? So we have a mandolin here, and we're gonna do the easy work by just running it across this, trying to get some thin sliced discs.
Yeah,
okay?
They're almost see-through.
Yeah.
Very paper thin.
Nice and paper thin, and the mandolin will help you do that. And so then we just put them in a couple stacks to make it easier with our knife work. So with mandolins, they have some blades for teeth that could do this for you. But with celery root, it's a little bit too firm to get through there. And this is a little bit easier, a little more safe.
You make it look so easy. Who needs the teeth on the mandolin?
So into the bowl, we're gonna go with this. Next up, some fresh horseradish. Again, we're peeled down the outside already. And with this, we're just gonna grate it right on top. And it's gonna feel like you're putting in a lot of horseradish here because you're probably used to the jar stuff that has all the bite and the zing to it. But this is more fragrant, it's fresh, and you can really get that aroma. So then, pinch of sugar, some salt and pepper, and why don't you add some sour cream there to it. And I'm gonna start slicing up just a little bit of red onion. And we want them nice and thin.
And the red onion's also going to go into the slaw.
Yeah, and I'll run a knife through it just sort of haphazardly to kind of break them down into smaller pieces. I'm going to throw that in.
Adding a beautiful little bit of color in there.
Absolutely. And then we still need to add a little bit of acid to it. So we're going to add a little bit of lemon juice.
This will really like boost the freshness of it.
Absolutely. So as you mix that, I'm going to start with the dressing for the steak tartare. We're going to start with a little bit of mustard, and then we have some capers here. So we're trying to add a little bit of that briny flavor to it, and we're just going to run a knife through it pretty quickly. You don't have to make them too small. You want the bite from them, but
it's okay to still have it, that burst almost when you take a bite into it. And these are both very traditional components to a steak tartare, the capers and the mustard.
For sure.
Although the horseradish is very different with the slaw and everything. That's not something that you would typically find.
Right, and that's going to add some creaminess and a little bit more richness to the dish than just a traditional tartare. So I have a shallot here. We're just going to cut it as finely as possible. I like shallot because it's a little sweeter, it's a little milder than, say, a white onion. But if you like that heat, you could easily use a white onion.
And this will kind of match. We have the red onion in the slaw, the shallot in the steak tartare itself.
So we're just going to add this shallot into here. And then we have a pinch of chives. And we're going to come in with some secret weapons. So we have a little bit of olive oil. And you want to make the dressing somewhat loose so it coats the meat. And here's some chili oil. So just a little bit of heat to it.
Love that color.
And then we're going to go back to lemon. So we want the zest in this one. So we're going to, again, kind of highlight lemon twice in the dish in two different ways. One with the juice, one with the zest. And then we have some great beef tenderloin right here, nice and fresh, just diced up. You could use tenderloin, you could use sirloin. You're just going to throw that in there. Want to add a little salt and pepper to it. And then, pretty simple, we're just going to mix it up. Not the hardest thing in the world, right? So on this, now we're going to plate on some crostini. So this is just some baguettes that we've toasted in the oven with a little bit of olive oil on it. And the idea is that we're going to put a little bit of this on one side and you top the other side of the baguette with some slaw. It's okay if you lay it sort of right on top. It doesn't have to be perfect.
I like the contrast of like the really white and creamy and then the fresh red meat. You can see the chives, all that green with the capers. Really beautiful looking dish.
Well, then there's one last thing. So steak tartare, everybody thinks of egg, right? And instead of doing the raw egg, we hard-boiled eggs, and we're just going to run a knife through the yolk a little bit just to kind of break it up. It doesn't have to be perfectly diced, and you're just going to kind of sprinkle that on. again, we're gonna add a little more color, a little more flavor to the plate.
So it's a component that people are expecting, but in a new, updated way.
Absolutely. So you got that great sort of egg yolky richness to it, the creaminess from the celery root slaw. So this is perfect for, you know, having people over. It's really quick, easy to eat. There you go.
Well, I don't think I can wait any longer to give this a try. This is wonderful. You can really taste all those flavors coming together. You get the different layers of texture, the different layers of flavor. What a wonderful way to do steak tartare. Thank you very much, Chef Gresh.
Thank you.